guys, welcome or welcome back to this channel. You have Kim here and I'm back with another video. So as you can see from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that you should know before you settle or before you choose a college in India, because I've been seeing a lot of your comments from my previous videos. You're very curious to know about the things that you must know first before you settle for a college. So I'm going to give all of those things that you've been asking in this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and yeah, like this video, share, comment. And also I've been noticing that there are a lot of views than subscribers. So if you're one of those people who follow my videos and hasn't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate your support. So without wasting much of your time, let's hop straight into this video. I hope you like it. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about, I'm not going to be talking about these things in hierarchy of importance. I'm just going to randomize, but I'm feeling like the first thing that I'm going to be talking about now is rather the most important thing, is the perspective of the university that you're going to be choosing. So you understand that your college or your university is where you're going to be spending most of your time, right? So if you are in a place whereby you don't feel at home, you research about a college and you don't like it at all, but it has every other good standard, I feel like don't go for it, because since you don't like that place, you're not going to enjoy the environment that you're going to be staying in. So if you don't enjoy the environment you're going to be staying in, it's going to affect your studies, it's going to affect how you interact in that place. So yeah, I feel like the perspective of your place, the perspective of that university in particular that you have seen is important, and how you feel about it is important. If you feel happy, if you feel like, no, this place can be my home, then well, it's a very good idea for you to settle for that university. The second thing that I'm going to be talking about is accreditation and ranking. So accreditation is generally the recognition of a university by boards, right? By educational boards, for example, the Ministry of Education. So if before you choose a university, rather, I'd say you need to check online, because various universities are listed on the government boards. So you need to go there and check online if the university has been accredited. So accreditation in general is the authorization, rather, of the university to grant a degree that you can use for your future. So for example, you go to a university that has not been accredited, you're going to face a lot of issues after university when they give you a degree, because you're going to be searching for a job. After you search for a job, they're going to look at your degree, and it's not from an accredited institution. It's not from a recognized institution, and that's going to give you problems. So I'd say before you settle for a university, you have to check the accreditation from various educational boards, see if the university at interest is going to be authorized to grant you the degree that you want. Then also, when it comes to ranking, there are several rankings for universities, ranking according to infrastructure, according to activity, according to educational quality. So all that matters before you settle for a university, because in as much as universities are cheap here in India, it's also important for you to know that you're going to a highly ranked university, and you'll be sure that no, my infrastructure is going to be good, my environment is going to be good, the quality of education is going to be good. So I hope that makes sense, and the aspect that before you choose a university, make sure it's accredited and it has a very good ranking, so that you know that you're going to a good place. The next thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video is the location and the weather conditions. So you want to know that your university that you have selected is located close to all the essential services. For example, close to the hospital, close to the bank, close to the ATMs. You don't want to have to travel very far away to look for the basic commodities. You get that? So when you're looking for that university, make sure the place is close to all the necessary needs that you might need for your everyday life. Then when it comes to the weather conditions. We are coming from places with various temperatures, right? So just like the places we're coming from, India has a very wide range of temperatures. There are places that actually snow, then there are places that are always blazing hot like Gujarat. So before you actually settle for your university, I'd advise that you check for the temperatures, the weather conditions, and the climate of that area. Make sure that the climate you're going into is suitable for your needs, because you're not going to come here and burn when you don't know. For example, when I came to India, I didn't know it was this hot. I didn't know it would get to 45 degrees. So yeah, that's an important factor. Instead of choosing one private university, because you know it has a good reputation, but it's situated in a very hot state, you can go for another private or government school that is situated in a good climate condition, and that's going to be beneficial for you. The next thing that I'm going to be talking about is student-teacher ratio. So there are situations whereby there's a large number of students in a classroom, or there's a very large classroom that can accommodate maybe 50 to 100 students, but there's only one teacher you get. So that means that teacher cannot really attend and give personal attention to each and every student in a class of 100 than that teacher can give attention to each and every student in a class of 50 or 30. Yeah. So before you select your university, it's important that you figure out how many students are usually in one class, so that you understand the relationship you're going to be having with your teacher, if your teacher can attend to your personal needs as a student. Because if the teacher is crowded, it's very likely that they will not attend to your personal needs. Yeah, so that's important. That's another factor that you need to consider before you settle down for a university. Then the other factor that I'm going to be talking about is the transfer rate of the students. So the transfer rate, I'm generally talking about, when a college admits students, then the number of students that tend to leave mid-course, that tends to go to other universities or pursue other courses in the university. You get it? So if that rate is high, it means there must be a problem in the institution. You get it? So if there's that kind of situation, if there's a problem and you don't know about it and you tend to come to that place, it means you've come from home for you to want to transfer from one college to another. And transferring is a very difficult task when you're a foreign national in India. So before you settle for one university, I feel like you need to know the transfer rate, whether a lot of students want to leave the school during the course, or there's a very low rate for that. Moving on to the next thing that you should know before you settle, or before you choose, or when you're choosing a university, is the placements and internships. So placements generally mean how a college is going to help you get a job after you complete your bachelor's or your degree, your undergraduate, your postgraduate, anything, right? So the first thing that I need to highlight, according to most of the comments that I've been seeing, you were asking, how is the placement in the university? How is the placement? What are they doing for placement? Private universities work their hardest to place you in good companies, but also understand that placements really or highly depends on your performance as a student. So if you're an exceptional student, you work your hardest, then you can expect to get placed in a good company. You can expect to get placed in a good industry. You get that? So yeah, placements are generally good. You need to also, before you enroll in university, you need to research about the placements, the companies that are going to visit the university, the companies that interact with the university, how they are recruiting students from the university after the completion of the degree. And yeah, that's one of the most important. Then the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is the extracurricular activities. So you need to know that the school that you're going to has other things that it offers apart from education that is based on the course that you're venturing into. You need to know that there are sports, there are clubs, there are other interactions, associations, what you get to do that is not school or course related. You get it? For example, club, swimming club, basketball, gym, all those things. You need to know that they are available within the school for you to refresh your mind. All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. We all know that. So that's important before you settle for a school, before you choose a university. Know that there are extracurricular activities that you actually like and you'd actually want to venture into. The other thing, one of the other most important things that you should know is the scholarship provisions, the costs, and the fees. So some schools generally offer scholarships, 50% scholarships, and some offer the scholarships according to your performance as a student, right? You need to know that scholarships are available for you. If you're in a position whereby you need a scholarship, you need to know that the school can easily provide. Then you need also to know the costs that are around your college life. If you're going to take that particular university, you need to know how much you're going to be spending, all that financial breakdown. You need to have that ready so that when you finally enroll, you won't be taken by surprise. You need to pay for this, you need to pay for that, and you're away from home. Unlike other students who can go and tell mommy, daddy, we need money for this. You're away from home and you receive money once a month. That's going to be hectic. Then the school fees, you need to find out rather that the school that you're enrolling in, the university that you're enrolling in, is rather much more affordable. For example, I've realized that here in India, private universities, right, are a lot more expensive than government universities when they are offering almost the same quality of education. For example, I'll speak in the basis of pharmacy. When you're in the Institute of Pharmacy, right, whether it's a private university or a government university, you're just learning under the Pharmacy Council of India. So the quality of education you're receiving is just the same. So you can't sacrifice paying thousands of dollars for the same quality of education that you can get for hundreds of dollars. You get it? So I feel like you need to research about that, find out the quality of your education, find out the cost, the fees, and the scholarship provisions, and that's going to be very helpful for when you finally decide on the university and you enroll. Then the last thing, but not the least, is the housing and the accommodation. Before you choose a university, make sure that they have proper housing and accommodation, because some schools do not have like proper hostels. I know of a particular school that enrolls international students, but they do not have proper accommodation. So when you now need to go find accommodation, it's going to be hectic, because like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, finding accommodation when you're a foreign national in India is hectic, because you'll find something in this, they'll say no Africans. What are you going to do? So yeah, know that the school has a proper accommodation or housing facility that is going to sustain you for 3 or 4 years, whatever the duration of your program is. Because I won't lie to you, I stay off campus, but I wish that I stayed in campus. I wish that I didn't have to rent a house because of the hostel conditions that I found when I came to the school. So yeah, before you settle for a university and institution, make sure the housing and the accommodation is of standard. So yes guys, this is it. These are the most important things that you should consider, or rather that you should research about before you settle or before you pick a university, not just in India but everywhere else. So thank you guys for watching. If you came this far, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, please help me grow this channel. I'd really appreciate your support. Love and light guys. I'll see you in the next lit video. Bye.